Hey everybody, so yeah, funny thing, I just did the recording for these two battles that I'm going to show you today. They're both Shogun 2 games, and I forgot to click the button to record the mic, so I just have footage without a commentary. So I kind of scrapped that and decided to redo it again. It's like an hour later now, so I've cooled down. Because when I realized I was pretty mad, and I really couldn't be bothered to do it straight after, so I waited for a little bit, did some other stuff. So, yeah, I think this was the Shinano River map, and I paused it there just to show you my army quickly. So, I've been messing around with a couple of armies, and this time I have a different army. On this side I have one Katana Cav, one Yari Cav, and one Light Cav. And then on this side it's slightly different. I have one Light Cav and one Yari Cav. So I have 3 Cav on that side, 2 on this. And then I have a meat shield of 3 Naginata attendants, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? 6 warrior nun units. Yeah, none of them are upgraded. Now these units, I think I got them as part of a DLC thing, and they have amazing attack and morale. The only weaknesses monks have is to bow fires. So. Yeah, that's pretty much my army. I've got some Yari Ashigaru, and then they're protecting my avatar's bodyguard. So if we now look at my opponent's side, I'm actually going to pause this again, because in my last commentary I forgot to get you all these units, because they were so bunched up later on. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... I have 8, 9, 10. He has 10 Yari Ashigaru, 1 Yari Samurai, and 1 Long Ashigaru. And then he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Lone Sword Ashigarus. So he has these 2 protecting his avatar. So you can tell what my opponent's going to do with that amount of spears. He's going to just rush me. He probably thinks that the low Koku units will give him an advantage compared to my units that are 850 Koku and in low numbers. So we'll see how it fares against each other. And as you can see here, so I'm sort of moving my cavalry out the side to try and capture this workshop. I'll need it if I'm to defeat this amount of spears. And on this side, I'm capturing this sword dojo, which is another benefit that I need. So I'm going to take my light cavalry to capture it. I'm just going to take my Yari Cav round to the flank to menace with his troops. Oh yes, he takes his cavalry out of hiding here. He has a mounted gunners and his fire cav. So these are 2 very dangerous units. They're also vetted up. So one's 2 chevrons, one's got a chevron. And his avatar's bodyguard has let's turn that down. Has 2 chevrons as well. So as you can see here, my army's against a massive army, and he brings his mounted gunners up here, which is a smart idea to try and disrupt my men, but he aims for the wrong unit and he fires directly into these Naginata attendants, which they're there for. They're there to be hit, and that's all he hit. Didn't go behind, didn't hit any of my monks, which he probably needed to hit. And so then I take my Naginata attendants out, and they just pretty much rout. But they're my meat shields. They were there to die. They are honored to die for Achilles, which is great. So now I'm just taking my men and I'm just charging them. They're at a funny angle. And as you can see here, so I'm charging my warrior nuns in, and as you look here, he kept his avatar bunched up. He's just trying to feed them through his men. He's trying to take his cavalry back here now, because he knows that I have a menacing cavalry force on his flank, which I'm going to use appropriately here. So I get a nice outflanking maneuver. He has his fire cav, and I think he dispatches his Yari Ashigaru to take care of them. And so I'm just going to send my Yari cav straight into his fire cav. Now his fire cav will win if they're not assisted, but he takes and peels off his Yari Ashigaru, and instead of helping his flanks, he's just going to pile them on top. And I actually take off my Katana cavalry and just put them right into the backs of these Yari, because as you look here, this is 1 warrior nuns fighting off against 4 Yari Ashigaru lines. And he breaks through here, and he just takes out my warrior monks, and he's sort of just trying to protect the side. So I take this Yari Ashigaru, because I know he doesn't have any more cav, and I take him into this Yari Ashigaru. So the combat will be even there. As you can see here, I keep running my general back and forth, because I don't want him to be killed by these guys, who I have not managed to take out many of them. They're very dangerous, and really he should be using them at the moment to shoot into the backs of my warrior nuns, because they are very susceptible to firepower by like bows or guns. So if he shot some of them, he would do a lot of damage, because there's only 75 men in them. But as you can see here, finally, his general is also in the mix, and his general will rout soon. there he routes, and he just managed to kill 2 of them by firing his fire cab. And as you can see here, I take the remainder of my warrior nuns right into my cavalry, which is what I really needed to do. I have my light cavalry coming in from the flanks here. I think I brought in my Yari cavalry from behind to get another hammer and anvil. I can't remember where that is, and as you can see here, this is light cavalry that I haven't even touched. So it was a good game for my opponent. I almost win here. I think his problem was that he just brought too many spears, but I can see how that's an advantage, as you know, with the large swamps of men. Maybe if he swapped out some of his backline Ashigaru for some better men, maybe some katana samurai instead of his lone sword, he would have done much better, because he just piled his men on top. And with the morale of my nuns and everything, I just brought the right army to face his, thank God. Because I think if I had maybe katana samurai units, he would have just destroyed me. So, good game to my opponent. I got a costly victory here, but I did pretty well on the circumstances. So I'll be back in a second, and I'll show you the result screen. Okay, and I'm back, and so as you can see here, he deployed a whopping 2,640 men. His numbers were so much superior to mine. The match only lasted 3 minutes and 56 seconds, so it was a really fast, quick match. And as you can see here, I deployed not as many as you can see, and I managed to take fewer losses and killed a colossal amount of his men. Mainly because of the fact he brought Yari as his main contingent. Even though he did have lone sword, they didn't do too well. So as you can see here, my bodyguard, he didn't lose anybody because I kept him really well protected, which is what you must do in all battles. If anything, your general must be protected. And as you can see here, this light cavalry did amazing. This one didn't do anything. My Yari cavalry, this one didn't do too well because it faced off against his fire cav. This one managed to do quite a lot of damage, which is great. And then my katana cavalry. Oh, I love katana cavalry, by the way. They're such good units. They're basically mounted sword units, but you can, move really fast around the map, and they're great. So I managed to get 218 kills with them. Didn't get them vetted up, though, which is kind of sad for me, because I really want a veteran katana cav, but I haven't managed to get one yet. And then my Naginata attendants, which were good meat shields. Great. They were honored to die for me, which was good. So they did their purpose well. My Yari Ashigaru, they did okay, I suppose. They lost a lot of men, but they were just there for fodder as well and to protect my leader from cav charge. But the enemy didn't really decide to do that, my opponent. And the warrior nuns, now, if you look carefully at them, for the amount of men I had, they did amazing. And they were the crucial component in that battle that won me, as well as my leadership general, which helped out a lot. So as you can see there, and then you can see my opponent, and as you can see, his units didn't fare too well. They didn't exactly get the best charges and stuff. His leader was always engaged, so his lone sword, they did get a fair amount of... Oh wait, never mind, sorry, that's their losses. Never mind, sorry. They didn't get that many kills. His Yari Ashigaru got quite a lot of kills, especially his long Yari. So that was the first battle, and I'm going to show you another one, so I will be back in a second to show you the next. Okay, so I'm back again, and this is the second match, and now I played this about an hour and a half ago now. And my other commentator was like, yeah, I just played this, it was good. But no, so yeah, we're playing on the Haida Mountains. I'm against Dahlia, I'm just going to call him. So I'm just going to pause this again, show you my army. This is a completely different army I was messing around with, which is good because it shows you the different... the good tactics I use and sort of the army choices I pick, because seeing as I don't have many troops at the moment, I suppose I have a lot of DLC, but that's about it. So as you can see here, I have instead of my warrior nuns as I did in the last battle, I have 4 katana samurai. Now that's not exactly that impressive. 2 of them are vetted up though, but here I do have 2 Nodachi samurai, and then I have 2 bow cav, which are great. I have 2 katana cav on each side. I already said the 2 Naginata attendants, and then Achilles. And then I have 2 Yari cav on this flank to take some of the strategic assets. Now I have the retainers of Shinobi Enforcer. I like that because it makes me form a tactic, sorry if you can hear that, before the game starts, which is quite important. So I knew that I had to put my Yari cav here because he has an advantage over his army. So I'm going to pause this when my Yari gets here. I need to capture this workshop, and I'm charging mainly towards this sword dojo. So I'm taking in my bow cav to the center here, so I'm going to pause it now. His army may be a little bit clumped up, but I can probably tell you it because it's doesn't have that many troops. So he has 2 Naginata samurai, and now this one is 8 chevron, and this one is also 8. So he has 2 really upgraded Naginata samurai units, and then he has a Naginata attendant. He has, I think he has 1 katana samurai and 1 nodachi, and then he has this bow warrior monks. Now, apart from 1 no. Oh. No, actually, all his katana samurai are really vetted up. I think there's 7 chevrons. Oh, wait. Yep, they are. And, yeah, he's got his katana. And so basically all of his units, apart from his 2 Great Guard, which is the cav units, are fully upgraded. And it was a good idea not to bring upgraded Great Guard because they're already really powerful as it is. I haven't unlocked them yet, but I know that they are the best cavalry you can field, just like you get Shogunate Guard Cav for Fall of the Samurai. So I'm just taking my bow cav, and I didn't realize, because I didn't really look at his army long enough to realize that he had bow warrior monks. I was thinking of tactics to get around, well, this. So I forgot that he had this bow warrior monk. So I bring out my Yari cav, my bow cav, to try and get some shots off. And unfortunately, I'm clicking the wrong orders, and I'm hitting his Naginata samurai, which are armored units and are good at taking missiles. So as you can see here, I only killed 2. But I managed to move my bow cav away before he fires some of his arrows, which was a good tactic. And now I draw his Great Guard away from his main army by accident. I think he just wanted to take down some of my cavalry from trying to flank. So he's coming around, and he knows that I have Yari cav here, 2 Yari cav. But I peel off his katana cav here just to sort of hold this horde off until I capture this. So as you can see here, my men are racing to capture this armor workshop. So if I capture this, I know for a fact that I'd probably take on this Great Guard. And as you can see here, he does exactly what I want him to do. He manages to take his 2 Great Guard and just focus them directly on my katana cav. And now I get a nice little charge with my Yari cav. Sorry about the frame rate problem there. Right into his Great Guard. You see here, his unit just gets pounding from mine. And then I send in my katana cav into his Great Guard. Now both of these units will lose on their own. So I have to hurry up, take my men back into their horses and pound the cavalry here. And I think I take off my Avatar General to go down there and to booster the morale of my men, which was a great idea because it actually helped me win that fight.
Our men are running from the battlefield.
So apart from that, on the main battlefield, nothing is really going on at the moment. We're sort of at a stalemate here. We haven't really moved our armies through the woods yet. I'm taking my bow cav around 1 unit. This one's being used as fodder against the bow warrior monks who are just absolutely destroying them. And I'm just going to try and take my bow cavalry round, and I tried to take out his general with it. But I managed to succeed in that with a tactic, which was actually really ingenious and lucky on my part. And you'll see that in a couple of minutes. So as you can see here, I'm taking a giant loss. 2 of my cavalry here lost, so they've routed. And so I've just got this 1 Yari cav against 2 Great Guard. And the funny thing is I managed to win this fight. As you can see here, this one's only got 13 men and this one has 16. So his Great Guard have probably been knocked out of the fight because they're weak. They've been fighting other cavalry. They're not going to be able to fight off this fresh Yari cav that has also been inspired. So I peel off his Naginata attendants, but they get there too late. Job's already been done. And so his unit riots. Now I still have this really strong Yari cavalry with just under half the men. And as you can see here, I take my bow cavalry in, and then I'm trying to pull them away. And then what I'm trying to do here is get the enemy general to follow them. And I managed to do that quite successfully. See, he's got a bow general. He's trying to catch my bow cav because he knows that on a one-on-one fight he'll probably take him on. But that's exactly what I was wanting him to do, because if he comes after my bow cavalry, I can take my Yari cavalry here, smash into them, and that will defeat them. And now, while he's occupied with clicking orders with his general to protect him, I move up my katana cavalry, and I'm moving up my force. Now, as you can see here, this is where a crucial part in the battlefield comes. See these Nodachi samurai? They have the Banzai ability, and that increasingly increases their charge. And as you can see here, I put them into Banzai, and I'm just going to show you what the charge is like here. They just absolutely slaughter men in their path when they have this Banzai ability. You can see here, you get some nice blood effects. Ooh, some nice attack throat. And if you look here, look, one of his Naginata attendants pretty much just routed on that. So I take them in as the brutal front charge. And as you can see here, their units are just losing up front against us. Now these units are like what, 7, 8 chevron starred units. None of mine have any chevrons, and mine are just crushing his. Apart from his Nodachi that are just destroying my Katana Samurai here, but I am going to reinforce with Naginatas. So I just take the center, and as you can see here, I pounded his enemy general with my Yari Cav, and so he loses his general here, which was a big mistake on my opponent's part. He really needed to keep him alive, and it didn't really work. So, good game to my opponent. This was a 9-star general. So I had to think of a way to defeat this guy. He was really powerful. His up front units were really strong, and I think I just got the better attack orders and micromanagement, which is really important. So that's just a strategy I put in there. So basically, you need to keep your general in all time. You must prioritize your general. He must be near your men at all times, and you cannot let him die, because it will like greatly reduce your morale. And as you can see here, all his men are pretty much just routed. So good game to my opponent, and I will be back to show you the results screen in a second. Okay, and I'm back. So as you can see here, he deployed less men than me this time, the Tailal. And the match this time only lasted 5 minutes. So as you can see here, I'll just show you the unit stats quickly just to see. So my boat cav, they didn't do too well. This one did a great job of peeling off the enemy leader's general, and I managed to kill him, which was a critical point. There was 2 critical points of that battle from where I managed to gain the advantage. One was with that bow cav that I managed to peel off the enemy general and kill with the leftover Yari cav. The second was the Nodachi Samurai I placed. As you look at their kills and deaths, they have really low deaths to really high kills, mostly from their charge. Their charge is amazing because they're just, you know, giant sword men, and they just busted the morale of my opponent really well. My Yari cavalry, this one did really well against 2 Great Guard and then the enemy leader. This one just took the brute charge and died. One of my Katana cavalry did terrible. My Katana cavalry wasn't exactly useful for that match. They were just there. They did do some damage, but they didn't do that much. And the rest of my army, even my Katana Samurai, if you look carefully, some of them didn't do that much. Some of them got kills, but they didn't really get any deaths, so they weren't really useful that much. Like, my Nodachi on just those 2 units did the most damage they probably could have. And as you can see here, my opponent's units. Now, he didn't do the right thing with his Nodachi. As you can see here, they got more lost than kills. And that's because he didn't use them properly. He didn't use the Banzai, and he didn't charge. But I'm not here to mock my opponent. It was a great game. I'm having a lot of fun with these games, and the players on Shogun 2 are just lovely. And the community is great. They're always here to help. So that was this commentary, and I'll be back to bring you some more. I hope you enjoyed that. So